What's up, guys? Intellitech Studios here, and I am unboxing another Dyson. What a surprise. Now, this one's one that I already own, but this one's in much better condition. I'm a big fan of the Dyson DC21 Stowaway canister vacuum that came out in 2007. I have one already, traded it with a friend for a Henry, for my Henry, I should say, but it's in not the best shape. Rocco's currently loving on the Power Force. But anyways, so one of my friends on Facebook had posted that they had a very minty DC21 Stowaway, and just like mine, it has all the onboard attachments, but this one is in really mint condition, has the floor nozzle, which mine doesn't have, and has basically no wear on the main power head, or either of the floor heads really. So I decided to get it. Now it's kind of tricky because he ended up listing it on eBay and having some issues with listing and all that, but I helped him through it and we were able to get it. I do feel kind of bad because he asked a certain price for it, but didn't really factor in some of the eBay fees and everything. But hopefully, I mean, obviously he knows it's going to a good home at least, so hopefully that makes up for it a little bit. Because that was kind of his initial point, was making sure that it goes to a good home, because it's obviously a very minty example of a DC21, and as the resident Dyson collector, which I'm sure nobody calls me, who would be the resident Dyson? Probably Parwas, but yeah. The machine is in here, and of course it's stowed away. What a surprise. Here's the floor nozzle, which I've never seen before, so that's nice. I love this very big, thick bubble wrap. Some of the bubbles are popped, but it's still really nice. So, yeah, no complaints as far as the packaging. I do kind of feel bad because I had a mental breakdown. I didn't unbox this for like a week, but it's still fine. But anyways, we've got the floor nozzle, and that looks minty. Now, I was able to get by with my other DC21 because even though the DC21 has this push button connector for floor heads, you actually can use the standard modern Dyson attachment fitting on the DC21 just like you can on the DC15, as the 21 and the 15 have the same fitting. So the articulating hard floor tool does work on my DC21. It's a little loose, like if you move it around and you shake it a bit, it will pop off, but it's enough that you can use it just fine. So I'll continue to use that on my other DC21. This DC21 will be primarily for the collection, so that way the other one that's scratched up and has bits chipped off of it can be the one that I continue to use and abuse. Because whenever I want to use a canister, I found myself gravitating towards the DC21, and sort of alternating between the DC21 and the Phantom Lightning. So it's nice to have some options for whenever I want to use a canister. But this will be for the collection. This will stay upstairs. My other DC21 will stay downstairs in the pantry. And of course, Rocco's messing with the packaging, as he so typically does. There's a little bit of hair in this, but it's not bad. It obviously was never truly used because there's no real wear on this floor nozzle. Well, actually, I guess there is some scratches. So it was used, but it doesn't smell bad. It looks really good. I'm not complaining. It's nice to have. Don't know if I'm going to actually use it or just stick with the floor nozzle I've been using. I could always alternate because now I have options. And of course, wearing the Phantom shirt, of course, that is still happening. It's just trying to get some other stuff taken care of first. So I do appreciate everyone who's been patient with the Phantom shirts. They are coming at some point. I don't know when I'm going to launch the Phantom shirts, but they will be soon. I don't know. Either way. Floor nozzle popped off. Wow. My goodness. This looks great. Look at this. Oh yeah, this is new. This is, I mean, pretty much new. There's like a couple little scuffs here, but they're very faint. The ball on the bottom is in really good shape. The gasket it's a little bit chipped off right there, but it's very nice. Look at that brush roll. End caps are perfect. There's no play in the end caps. This is gorgeous. I'm definitely never going to use this because this looks amazing. That is beautiful. I love the cleaner head on this machine. It still does have the same performance issues that a lot of the older upright Dysons have, where yes, it cleans well with the bristles that are touching the carpet, much like the DC17 or the DC18, but the gaps in the bristles are still too big. And you're obviously, if your goal is to have the best cleaning Dyson, then you're going to want a Dyson UP13 or UP20 or UP30, which are the current gen uprights, both with and without the anti-tangle technology, respectively. This one tangles a lot. My other DC21 is very, very tangled. And yeah, so this, again, there's a little wear on the ball, but it's not bad. This is definitely going to stay minty. But yeah, very happy with that. Got the nice big button right there. Hose is nice and clear. I love the easy access to this hose that the 21 has. You just pop it right back in there. Very nice. Very nice. Of course, the head is heavy, so if you're trying to pick it up with the wand, it can be a little cumbersome. But this is a nice, large, American, USA cleaner head. Look how giant this thing is. Love this machine. And of course, the machine with the intact stickers. Yeah, look at that. It's gorgeous. Oh, my tape gun got caught on the bubble wrap and my niece just popped. Alright. Let's grab all this packaging. Canisters. That is one thing that I haven't really thought about for the arguments of uprights versus canisters, is selling a canister is way easier than selling an upright. But yeah. Now, the funny thing is when I looked at the pictures, for some reason, I kind of panicked and thought the gasket was... I thought the gasket was missing. But I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure that's how it's supposed to be. It appears the gasket just sits high on this Dyson. But look how minty this bin is. There's a little bit of scuffing right there, but it's not bad. And you've got the completely intact stickers. This is gorgeous. Yeah, a little bit of dust on the top of the Cyclone, but very nice. Very little usage, if any. Honestly, I would probably say this is brand new, because you really can't fake. I mean, you can polish these bins, but it never looks the same. So yeah. And also, this one's actually probably an American one. Yes, it is, because my other DC21 is actually a Canadian model. This one's an American one, so I've got a proper US DC21. Not like it really matters, because you can't get parts and support for these anyways. But got the HEPA filter, which I almost don't want to pop out because, you know, I ended up breaking the connector on my last one, so I'm just going to leave it. There is some debris on this gasket that you can't really see, but there's nothing else in here. There's a big scratch right there, but it's behind the bin, so you can't really see it. And this hose is in beautiful condition. This wand is in beautiful condition. There are some scuffs on the side of this. Actually, that just might be dust. No, there is some scuffs, but it's very minimal. And that is, look at that, that is super smooth. So yeah, very happy with this. Very, very happy. Again, I think I might be wrong about that gasket thing. I think that gasket's probably fine. All three onboard attachments, never been used, from what I can tell, at least. Here's the upholstery tool. Still mint. Perfect. Very nice. So yeah, I mean, same with the dusting brush. And the filter on this actually has, oop, there goes the dusting brush. Has the original filter which looks like it looks like a DC15 filter. That's fascinating. So again, the replacement filters you find are not going to be the same. But yeah, this is basically a DC17 filter inside the case of a DC15 filter, which is kind of funny. And it's very sticky. So, but yeah, really nice how it has the original filter. This is all minty in here. So, quite nice. So yeah, that's just a quick little unboxing. I did get some dirt on my hands somehow. That's just a quick little unboxing of this. Now, I'm going to plug it in. Am I going to plug it in? I don't know yet. I'm going to decide that in a couple seconds. Because I don't want to get all this dust in this bin. Because this bin is perfect. I'm going to wipe off that dirt that's on that gasket, and maybe I'll plug this in. I just want to make sure it runs, of course. So I plugged it in. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to run it without the bin attached, so that way it doesn't get any dirt in it. Because I want to keep this thing minty. But it actually turned on when I plugged it in. I know, spoiler alert, right? It's still, even without the bin, it's still really quiet. Yeah, so I'm very happy with that. Drop the cleaner head on there. So, yeah, this thing is perfect. And even basically brand new, that cleaner head still has some rattle, which makes me think that's just how it's designed. Which I kind of was worried that mine that I used had some rattle to it, but I think that's just how they are. I still want to clean this gasket, but I can't find my wipes. So, but nevertheless, that's the unboxing. Thanks again. I forgot his name. I feel so bad. Let me check real quick. And my phone's not unlocking. That's great. So, thanks again, Sean. I do really appreciate it. And I'll message you right now, just so I don't forget to. Yes, it did. It looks great, because he asked me on Saturday if it arrived, or I guess yesterday, if it arrived safely. Perfect. But thank you again, Sean. I really appreciate it. Sorry about the whole eBay thing. eBay's been kind of a brat recently. And yeah, but anyways, thank you again for the DC21 Stowaway in all of its glory. This is going to go straight upstairs into the collection. It's not going to be used because I have my other DC21 Stowaway that actually gets used. And I would go grab it and show it, but I'm pretty sure it's buried underneath all my other vacuums in the pantry, which kind of defeats the purpose of it being there if I can't really use it. So anyways, Intellitech Studios signing out. Have a good one. Peace. Let me know what you think. Excuse me, in the comments below. Also, I want a manual for this now, because obviously I have everything. The box I'm not too concerned about. This thing's basically NOS. So if I could just find a manual for it. I want a manual for every Dyson that I have, which is all of them. So if anyone knows where I can somehow find a DC21 owner's manual, an original one, I'd be very happy. So anyways, thank you. Intellitech Studios signing out. Have a good one. Peace. Let me know what video you want to see next.